WGPR Detroit HD2.
You're watching WHPS, Highland Park, Detroit. The views and opinions expressed on the following show are not necessarily the views and opinions of WHPS, its affiliates, management, or sponsors.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones and
Thank you very much, family. It's been a real rough morning trying to get things going today. But you know what? We're going to get it going very shortly here on the Talk Beat Jones again. I am Billy Jones. Remember, tell your friends we're on the air every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And we invite you to take your time and tell your friends to watch, listen, and learn. Today, we're going to go off script a little bit here. School shootings. Let us understand school shootings, folks. If there's anyone that want to talk about the school shootings, we can do that. If you choose that you have want to go politics, you can do that. But why I didn't sleep too well, is that we are was going through the shootings that are reoccurring now in the schools, and in looking at parents going to the schools and finding that the wonderful, beautiful, loving children that they've sent to school, their child, and they're told to come to the school because their child is dead, not just shot, but the child is dead. And so the question, family, not a question. I'm a parent. And so when I see and I hear these things going on, or see the situation happening, my heart aches each time. It don't have to be my child, but I'm in the place of the parent, the mother, the father, the grandparent, the cousins, the friends. That child that went to school, almost got a tear just thinking about it, family, that no longer am I going to be able to see my child. No longer am I going to, whatever, just like your parent is gone or whatever, but your child, that you've done everything to make it happen, and then you get that call. Oxnard School District had a school shooting, of course. You had children dead. You have, I'm not sure, because like I said, I had some things happening I didn't follow completely. But I'm not sure if that was just the students and the staff, or was it just the students that were killed and injured. However, here's the question. What responsibility, and remember, I'm a lay person when it comes to this type of situation. I'm talking just like I'm talking to your living room, and you're sitting across on the couch having a conversation and just talking. We have no facts, we have no figures, we have no understanding, we're just talking. And on the Talk Beat Jones, at this particular time, I'm just talking. And so what we're asking you, and what I'm saying is that if the school had been told or been informed or had some inkling that there was a situation that the students are going to be potentially harmed, why would they poo-poo it and not really take it to heart? And I'm not saying that they did not take it to heart, except the measures that needed to be dealt with to keep those students safe with that type of threat going on. I'm just asking, or would you have handled that situation differently than the people who are responsible for that school situation there? When you have all of the students that are being aware that there is something going on, that something is going to happen, and they have passed the information along and given information, and many of them were smart enough not to come to school. But we have the situation here if the people say, well, it's just young folks and social media, so let's not take it to heart. We don't believe it. We want to assure the parents that we got this together. Everything is all right. Everything is fine. So then we don't react. The people who are in charge, they don't react. And if they don't react, then the situation did happen. It did happen. And we're going through now, is there anything that they could have done to prevent this shooting in Oxnard? Could there? So I'm just kind of like in a mental state that's like kind of discombobulated at this time. Because, we've got the pandemic going on, and now we are consistently seeing that there is a situation mentally that's causing a lot of mental illnesses. This 15-year-old boy has taken the lives. We said at one point, a 15-year-old child, a 15-year-old boy, a 15-year-old youngster took the lives of young folk, classmates at the school, and tried to murder others. And at this particular time, they're saying that his parents have had him to don't say anything, do not cooperate with the authorities, getting all the lawyers to step in. What is it that we're going to do? What's going to happen? 15 years of age, already committing murders, and trying to kill more. 15 years of age. What kind of charges will this youngster be brought up on? 15 years of age. Is that a juvenile situation, or will the situation warrant something different? And if it's a juvenile situation, what type of guidelines will this particular situation warrant? It is a just baffling, just horrendous type of situation. Now, family, at this particular time, they're talking about the new variant. They're talking about the new variant and the fact that it's more transmissible, and it's happening. And, I caught the little tail end part of them talking about the fact that it came from Africa. And now they're saying, no, it did not come from Africa. It did not come from Africa. But they were very quickly ready to shut down the travel arrangements from folks coming from Africa. Why? Why is it that, or it doesn't matter at this particular time, the why, the thing about family in the United States of the America and us here in Detroit, Michigan, that the variant is here. It's here. You know, when we talk about, well, I have not heard any cases in Detroit, it's here. It's here. Now, when the breakthroughs are going to happen, when it's going to happen, just like the COVID situation early on, once we start to hear about it, it's already in a pandemic mode. So for my loved ones, my family, my friends, my associates, my haters, are you in a situation now where you're consistently saying, I don't need any injections? I don't think that it's going to work for me because it may do something to my body. It may do something to my body. And yet, you too are going to funerals and seeing what the COVID did to someone's body. And, you know, we all know, just like religion, everyone has freedom of choice to do what you need to do. But unlike those buildings or your religious thinking, that's personal to you and affects you and those who are loving to you and caring for you, etc. But that's just that. This choice that our family members, our friends, our leaders who have chosen not to be into a health-wise situation, that is to get the shot in the arms, is causing mass destruction. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. It's mass destruction going through all of our family members and friends and associates. It's happening. And as we should see, if you are not vaccinated, and I hear you, 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 that you don't want to be vaccinated, that you don't want to put something in your body that may cause something different to happen, a different reaction in your body. Yeah, your immune system gets greater, stronger, better. But if you don't care for that, we've got actors who have lost jobs. We've got athletes who have not been able to play. We've got athletes who have lied about the situation, etc. Why? Because they're saying they don't want something different in their body. They don't want something different in their body. To change what is happening. And yet, they're willing potentially to be a carrier to their friends, to their family members. And I'm saying to people who may have had the injections, whose immune system may have been compromised, but the injections of the COVID, injections for the COVID, allowed them to continue to live. And now you may be picking up this strand of mutated COVID, and now you're causing them to have this something that is breaking them down. And they say, yeah, but it's not as bad. It may not be as bad. They don't die. Yeah, but check out, family members, if you can't smell, if you can't taste. And I was with a medical professional just yesterday talking and being informed about the experiences of the patients and their folk. And what are they saying? People who can't smell, people who can't taste, they ask you if everything that you have to put in your mouth tastes nasty. If everything that you smell smells nasty, And it's not a process where you can go from this room or that room or get you some spray and make it smell better. I put something in your mouth to make the taste greater better. And you don't know. From 6 months, does it go away? Does it go away? Is it going away? What type of mental condition are you going to be in that type of scenario, that type of situation? It's a process that is unimaginable to me. When you're eating, what are you doing? You're tasting the different foods. And I'm bringing this up because, again, in talking with the dentist, it was horrible listening to his stories about the folks who have been affected. And we're looking at, well, my aunt, my uncle, my dad, my sister, my child, my associate, my friend, they had COVID, but they made it. But they're still in the, quote, long haul conditioning of COVID. Now, let's understand, if you got a pinky finger, that's hurting you all the time, just a pinky finger, hurting you all the time, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Where is your mind going to be? What type of conditioning is your mental state going to be in if you're always 24/7, no matter what the condition is that you take, medications, wraps, cast, whatever, that finger is going to hurt you. And there is nothing that you can do about it. You're living. You're breathing. But that finger is hurting you 24/7. Just a finger. How are you going to feel about that? How is your life going to continue? What are you going to be able to do to be a happy person, to be a progressive person, to be a good mate, to be a good, whatever it is that you're doing, your job person, going to work? My finger. What's wrong with my finger? My finger. I'm just saying to you, family, front door, I'm just saying to you, family, this is something that you need to understand, that, front door flip, that the people that are in that situation are really in a hurtful mental condition, not just the physical, but the mental is where we're coming from. And it's not a good situation. I'm worried. I'm really worried because, if you're in pain or if you're in dire distress, your personality, your judgment, your ability, in some cases, some folks who want to live, starts to get less and less and less and less. Because you say, I don't feel good 24/7. I don't want to laugh. I don't want to make love. Nothing. Oh, caller, you try to want to call back, please. I tried something. Try to call back and let's see if we can get you on the air. But I'm just really distraught with this. Let's see if this. Okay, caller.
Hello.
Yeah. Good morning. Good. How are you doing?
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I'm doing. Oh,
Okay. Now, here's where we are. Let's explain this. one of the things I've checked out and watching the replays of my program is that if the telephone situation and the callers are not coming through clear and you're underwater, I, as a person listening to the show, I can't really hear you and I really can't understand you. So it takes away the program. So I'm going to try to take the call. And however, family, if the call is underwater and I can't understand, I'm going to have to say that we're not going to be able to take the call and we are having that problem. So, caller, I'm going to try again to hear you. Please speak to me.
Hello.
Yes, talk to me, please.
I was calling because sound like we have feedback.
Yes, like I said, so we're not. You can stay on to that. We're going to take a break shortly, and you can try to stay on and see if we can make an adjustment, or because again, I'm not the telephone system that is going on in terms of during the time I'm on the air. I don't know about anybody else's program, so I'm not going to say that. But in terms of listening to the replay on my program, the telephone calls do not seem to go through clearly where people can really understand. So I'm going to say it again because I can't go back and forth trying to get the call right. It just takes away from the show. So, caller, why don't you start talking? And we're going to go to a commercial break shortly, but I want to start the callers left. Why don't we take this time and go to an early commercial break, and we'll come. Let's try it one more time. Let's see. Caller, you there?
Yes.
Okay, let's try again now. Talk to me.
Okay, I was just calling. I was listening to you talking about how people got here to depressed by different things. And I was just, I'm going through the same thing. I've been in my house 25 years.
You know what?
And I don't pay my property taxes and everything.
Hold on, caller.
But someone came to knocking on my door.
Hold on, caller.
My house.
Caller, hold on just a moment. Caller, hold on just a moment. Caller, hold on just a moment. I'm going to go to commercial break. I'm going to come back to you. Don't go anywhere. We'll come back to you. Don't go anywhere, okay? All right. Family, we're going to prepare to take a commercial break, and we're going to come back. I see that we're ready to rock and roll, and we'll come back with the Talk Beat Jones very shortly here at WHPR, TV 33, WHPS. Remember, we have a repeat broadcast on Sundays from 8 to 9. We'll see you shortly. Thank you.
The environment is so friendly. Always feel like home.
We have so much support from the staff. You meet people who are like you.
I always had a passion to help others, so this is the perfect place for me.
You're not afraid to reach out. Flora Kiwang, Cameroon.
Maklit Shonga, Ethiopia.
Javed Khan, Bangladesh.
Dennis Carrick, Bosnia and Herzegovina.
They give you what you need for the future.
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Matter. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine. To keep safe and strong. Be happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Season's greetings from Detroit's 107.5 WGPR HD2. Radio we can see.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones and
All right, we're the Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy E. Jones.
And I'm Michelle Broughton.
And Michelle, are you speaking loud enough in that microphone?
Yes, I'm speaking very loud in this microphone.
All right, all right. Well, tell you what, since you're speaking loud in that microphone, caller, that what I was speaking to before earlier, if you want to try it again, you want to call in and see if we can get you on the air. But right now, let us turn it over to Miss Michelle Broughton. Good morning.
Good morning, family. It's a wonderful day, and it's not a wonderful day. We've in the news right now. It's about the shooting, and that's very
disconcerting.
Yeah, it is. And then, for me, when are adults gonna pay attention to what's going on? And again, we have a tragedy, started with far as a massacre shooting with Columbine and in so many schools after that. Mm-hmm. And it's always the same type of perpetrator, young white male armed with guns, bullets, and ammunition. Such a sad story. But that community is going to have to come together and have some things considered and done. As a young child, I was reflecting in my high school, which I'll have remain nameless. Mm-hmm. And I'm new to public school because I came from a private school situation. 9th grade year, there was a young gentleman walked through the hallways with a sawed-off shotgun. Nobody stopped him. I guess, being just a teacher, you'd be afraid to. Walked into the lunchroom and commenced shooting at his target. And he killed the kid 2 tables over from me.
What? Hold up.
Yes.
I'm saying hold up, but you continue just like, oh.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
So we saw him. We saw the weapon. And I'm petrified because I know what guns do.
Yes.
I saw the guard at the door. I don't know if it was a lunch man or we didn't have security guards back in the 70s. And he moved out the way. The kid came in, and it took 2 of my lunch pals to pull me under the table because I just was petrified. Couldn't move. He didn't kill anyone else but the target he was after.
Wow.
And he walked out of that building, and they didn't capture him.
What?
Mm-mm.
So he was not a student?
Yes, he was a student. We all know who he was. Personally,
but
I had to walk home, and I had to walk back to school. So it was in the beginning of the gangs. For those of you that are old as me, it was before the Young Boys Incorporated. So you had 7 Mile Dogs, the BKs, the Sconies, all of those kind of groups. And so they had what we used to call soldiers. So you had the guy and you had the victim, and then you had the other people. So before they used to call it the no snitching, all we knew is we had to walk home and we had to come back to school. So this person don't know nothing because I have nobody to help me. Went home, told my parents, hey, there's a shooting at school today. I can't go back there. I'm so afraid. My father goes, okay, if you don't like the school, just tell us you don't like the school.
He didn't believe it was a shooting.
He did not believe. Kids don't have guns.
That's
and if
right.
they have a gun, who gave them the bullets? Because it costs too much money.
And during
that
time,
cannot happen.
And during that time, your parents were not notified that there had been a shooting. Is that correct?
Nobody called my school. Mm-hmm. That's why my father was in disbelief. And my mother was still at work, so we didn't see her till later that night. She was also, I can't believe this. Why would you tell me something like that? Until it came on the news. And then it was like, why didn't you? I did tell you. So for 2 days, I did not go back to school because we knew, and the guy was still in the neighborhood doing what he wanted to do. A terrorist, bully at the highest order.
Oh, okay. Wait.
No counselors came to our aid.
Stop for just a moment. I am totally confused, and I know someone else out there is confused because if you have someone walk into the school, walk in, shoot a person, kill a person, and they know who it is.
No, the adults don't know.
Oh,
kids know.
Oh, the kids know.
The adults don't know. He had on a long trench coat. He had on a hat.
So would you explain again so I want people to know why he was not
snitching,
in.
Nobody told.
Because during that time, if you told, we can put on the street term
against.
Snitch, but if you tell on somebody, let's go back to the kids. If you tell on somebody, then that's somebody or that's somebody's friend is going to come after you because that's the way it was done back in those days. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Please continue.
That is correct. So the sad part of the story is we didn't have grief counselors. We didn't have anyone. And they just let kids come back to school, supposedly isolated incident. And so the thing was I was traumatized, so that I didn't want to eat lunch ever and ever again. As a matter of fact, didn't all 4 years. I had to go to the principal. The counselor refused to change my schedule. I said, well, I'll never go back in the lunchroom. I'll sit outside the door. You can't sit in the hallway. Okay, well, send me to the principal's office.
So now, how do you relate your story to where we are today with the fact that Oxnard, now again, as I stated earlier while you were en route, that I'm just talking as though my friend is sitting on the couch and we're talking because I don't have the exact facts. I'm just asking a question like someone is asking a question.
Well, what stirred this back up
Wait, hold on just 1 second, is that, so the Oxnard school, and listen to Oxford school, authorities were aware that there was a situation going on. And can you, as a person, can tell us why the school persons was not taking it serious? And there was a report that they had at one point sent a notice to the parents to let them know that there was this and that, etc. But we have it all under control and everything is all right. But then it comes out about a deer head being thrown, and the students on social media and the students knew on that particular day, don't come to school. Can you give me some thinking about why the
Oxford.
Oxford?
Yeah.
Where is Oxford?
It's north.
North. Some other folks. Okay. But I saw black folks too. So why is it that they would feel that all of this situation with a deer head thrown on, and they say they had to come through a locked area to get to be able to throw this deer head on the school setting? And the school setting, school folks didn't take that serious? Why? Michelle?
Well, according to the news,
please,
they said those were 2 different incidents. And then to further talk about it, they said the deer didn't have any blood. Well, what difference does that make?
Well,
it's
it was a roadkill. Yeah, I mean, it was a roadkill, but the process was the symbol of
it's scare tactics.
Yes.
So also as an educator, sometimes you don't listen to the students,
Let me do this real
so
quick.
much.
Malik Shabazz, we're looking for your call.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the thing was, what brought it, going back to what I was saying, what brought this up, my memory that I would love to forget and can't, is that the same type of high school, we didn't have security guards, nobody checked your bags, and they don't listen to kids. They didn't. When I was in school, they didn't listen to us. We would tell them all kind of things, and they're like, "Oh, that's not possible. Like, it's going to be a shooting at the football game." No, it's not. Yes, it is. And then when it happens and everybody's scattering, it's like, "Well, how come you didn't tell us?" We did. So again, according to the police, the sheriff was telling the public not to look at Facebook. Don't believe it because it's not true. But if you're a student inside a school, they do have some information, whether it's complete or whether it's all true or not, but you need to stop and pause and listen to the kids, because they do know. They know something. They might not know details. They might not even know which student it is, but they know something is not right.
When you're having that conversation, I know that that conversation is directed to who? The school officials, because the parents are listening. The parents are listening to the children. So we must be speaking to the educated people who have all the degrees, who have gone through all this training with children, with student interactions, etc. And you're saying that they don't believe when the children are letting them know that a situation is potentially happening in the school?
Not that they don't believe. They just don't investigate or act on it sometimes. You know, they hear it and they don't. Well, and it's not that they don't believe it, it's just they don't go further into allegations or the story or the notification, because I'm always, if a student tells me something, that means they're putting me on notice. Might not happen today, might not happen tomorrow, but it's a conversation.
But the people that are in charge, the principal, the superintendent, you and I are going to have this. Mm-hmm. The principal, the superintendent, when they see that this situation has happened, when we say that there was two different situations between Deerhead and this, yes, however, I, as the principal, as the superintendent of schools, are we saying that we would not have a conversation potentially about what is going on in the school, in our area?
They're going to now.
I mean, no, then. No. I mean, because, see, we're talking after effect, when in fact.
But so many people, as if you watch the news media, say, oh, this is a nice community. This would never happen in our community. Why did it happen? We all love each other. This is impossible, unthinkable, unimaginable thing. So if you have that mindset, you're not going to have that conversation. You know.
Let me do this real quickly and then come back to you. I went to McClymonds High School in Oakland, California, back in my time. And, you know, I know we talk, etc., but McClymonds High School was approximately 98% black. And, no, we had 4, so I'd make it 96% black. But if there was a rumor of something going to happen, we always at the games, the buses that would come, we knew that they had to be special protection for the athletes or whatever it was coming to the schools, different schools. So we had that. If there was being told about going to be a fight or going to have a situation, we had the principal, we had 2 Joneses, Mr. Lou Jones and Al Jones, vice principal, principal. Mm-hmm. They were there. They were there, walking, being in the Sarah area, and letting us know, it ain't happening here. So I know everything is sophisticated and all of the people mental is differently wired now. But when we say that they knew or they had been told, and the information was so dastardly put out for the children to say, I'm not going to school, kid. I'm not going today. Regardless of you saying, you got to go to school, boy, got to go to school. No, I'm not going today. I'm not going. This is such. So as a parent, in all those situations with the parents and talking with the children, the students, etc., are we going to understand that there was no parent that would not talk to the school or some official and ask them what are they doing, have they heard, have they understand? I mean, I'm just totally confused about this. Don't sound right, Michelle. It don't sound right.
Well, it's a disconnect. You know, again, I'll tell you locally for Detroit, when they closed down Redford School and wanted to mix those kids with Henry Ford students, it's like the Hatfield and the McCoys. As a parent, because I had kids in the system, do not do that. Do not mix those schools together. There's going to be trouble because it's generational. It's generational. The district didn't listen. They had meetings. School board didn't listen. And at the end of the result, there was a murder because you mixed the two that should have never been mixed, ever. They many times the people who have the most don't listen to the people who are on the ground, who live it every day, who are in it every day. And we had no reason to give them the information, but to keep the students safe. Now in Oxford, that's a different situation. You know, those are special folks, and they don't believe that it could ever happen in their community until it happens. So conversation, you know, the kids been out for too long, left to their own devices, and not so much mental health, but they need to be talked to because they're left alone without guidance. Parents are under stress, people are dying, they're trying to bury their folks or their friends, their coworkers, whatever it is. Nobody's talking to the student because they're silently suffering or get mixed information because, again, they're left alone to their own devices. And we've been out of school for 18 months.
So would this mean that they're possibly, Michelle, I'm asking the question here because, you know, we talk about social skills, interactive skills with folks, how to have a conversation. That conversation is not good. You got me a little upset. If I don't have a social skill, if I have not had a lot of interactions, I don't know how to put my feelings in check.
Right. And you're left to your own devices, whatever they are.
And if I already had a mental issue, and it was not identified earlier on in my life.
Correct.
Which sometimes schools do that, don't they?
Correct.
They will identify.
That's what they do.
Okay, so we being kind of not lax, but we're in a situation with this COVID.
It's so different.
It is so different, family. So we're saying that, family, the children, you know, you have to, when we have a child that says, excuse me, Michelle, I'm touching Michelle's hand, just elbow with a coat on, just to show you that I'm talking about. If I touched her and she says, no, don't do that, and I say, oh, I'm going to touch you anyway. Well,
that's a form of bullying. In case you don't know, you're not hurt, but that's starting it. And then after the bully gets away with that gesture, then it can build. And then the person that's being bullied either becomes an introvert, won't tell, or left to their own devices. Because sometimes people do retaliate or fight back.
And we find that when you say people who go quiet, people who go silent,
those are the ones
can become the most violent persons that you can meet because they have internalized the victim, how they have been a victim and what they're going to do. And they feel that they have to take this person or people because now they've lost it.
Right.
But now let us quickly switch over to
let's do something happier.
No, well, it's not happier because I got to talk about this COVID breakthrough, this another situation with these this other variant. It's not good, it's not happy, but it's life. And right now, I would like to say I was with a dentist, and the horror stories that he was speaking to me about the COVID long hauls, the effect that this new variant is happening. What are we going to do with the folks again? And again, I love them, friends, associates, haters, who have not taken the injections, who have not did the shot in the arms. When they're talking about all this, the people in the hospitals and how the hospitals now become overcrowded and they may have to make decisions on who's going to live and who's going to die, it is because, family, they've said all of the folks who have not taken the shot in the arms, and you have allowed your immune system to produce antibodies that are causing mutations. Somewhere, somebody is causing a mutation. Teeth problem. And I'm just really worried because folks who had challenged immune systems who were able to be protected with the initial COVID injections, well, where are they? Where are they now? Where are they now? And especially with everybody saying we're back to normal. All the games, 100-some thousand folks at the game, 50,000 folks at a game or concert, 30,000 concert, 1,000 people going out to a special event, 30 people just getting together, gathering up, 15 people just getting together and having a little something social.
Well, they have to protect themselves because it's.
But the thing is, they're not. You see, if you're not protected and if you're not injected and you don't really care, if you don't care because you feel that this is going to cause something else to happen to your body, or you just feel, like, get this, I don't care what they say, I'm not going to do it.
Mm-hmm. But also the message has to be strong, because in different countries they didn't have that issue. They had one message, and that message went to the people, and the people responded. Here, media's like discombobulated. You know, you get media from Facebook, you get media from the news, and you have the C-SPAN and all the other outlets. I won't call them because they're not paying for advertisement. But anyway, and so the message is not the same. And so you have all of this confusion, and so people are not responding responsibly or carefully, or they don't understand the severe thing. I got a stupid phone call and saying it's stupid. It was a telemarketing trying to sell a vacation. I said, it's COVID. I'm not going on vacation, period. In country or out of country, because there's no guarantees, you know. He says, oh, well, I think it's a hoax. I don't even know why you would say that. You need a vacation. No, I don't. I need to stay alive. I need to stay well. And I need to mask up when I'm outside and with people that I'm not around. And we need to be vigilant about protecting ourselves. And also still talking to friends and family, if they're not, to please get inoculated. Go get the shot. It'll save your life. It'll save your friend's life, your family. But we also have to keep telling that story, and media needs to clean up their act.
You know what the media is doing at this point?
Scaring people.
Miss Broughton, Miss Michelle Broughton, they're speaking about how wonderful the folks are traveling.
Capitalists, they need to make money.
They are looking at how the folks are traveling, and yes, you are traveling everywhere. Everywhere, everything is booked. Whether you took the plane or whether you drove, these areas are just being bombarded with travelers. Mm-hmm. And we've got people say, well, look, I've just waited and I can't wait no longer. I mean, this is part of my lifestyle, is to travel, is to go visit. I've seen such and such person. And yes, the message is constantly being placed out there in different people, our program, different programs on the station, etc., and programs, period. However, if you've got a person who is like a rock, and you are like the water, and all you're doing is dripping on that rock, it's going to take the time. It's going to take the time because they are stuck with the fact that they are not going to get the shot in the arms. And again, what and where are we going? Because as we look at the restaurants, we look at the games, we look at entertainment, we look at socialization, period. It's like, well, we're back to normal. We're back to normal. It's okay. We're back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
And Malika, I have just a few minutes more, Malika, because I wanted to speak on Miss Winfrey. I think his name is Winfrey, who lost her son, Stephen Ratcliffe. Mm. They're putting up a billboard, and I thought we were going to have a conversation about that. But we'll talk, I guess, again sometime another time, Malika. Mm-hmm. But I'm just astounded because in talking to the dentist, Miss Michelle Broughton, the dentist was speaking about the long haul, and here comes the terrible part. My heart was dropping. My heart was dropping because he was talking about the folks who are affected with their inability to smell and to taste. And in doing that, he was speaking about what they were receiving as senses, and it was not good. So what I'm reaching and speaking on this because it's not death, it is the effects that it has on folks' systems. Period. As I was speaking, if I had this finger, just a little finger, in pain, 24 hours a day, and no matter what I did, medications, cast, just whatever, it would never go away. Mentally, 24 hours a day, I've got this pain.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to do? Let's go boating. Let's go riding. Let's go walking. Let's go to dinner. Let's go to a next. Yeah, but mentally, what would that do to a person, Miss Michelle Broughton, in your mind?
If you're in pain all the time?
If you have lost a sense, if not only have you lost the senses to enjoy life, food is a sense that we enjoy.
Right. Well, they might become a recluse and might not want to be, social. And then it's hard to live like that because, you need that. You don't want to be somewhere you're without your senses because then that's dangerous as well. But I'm going to just pray for everybody, and the scientists need to work harder to find out. So if that part of your brain is turned off, they need to know how to turn it back on. But of course, this is new to everybody. They don't know everything, and every day is a day of learning, and it's just discovery. And I just got to pray for the people. That's all. And we're going to have to wrap it up pretty soon.
Oh, we good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. We good.
But that's a terrifying thing. And then your health can considerably get worse because if you lose desire to socialize, desire to eat, desire to drink, it's not good.
Take the last 2 minutes and give us your advice. We got 2 minutes. Give us your advice on how would you advise the folks moving forward with the schools, the children, and if you were making the decisions as the administrator in the oversight of schools, how would you deal with that?
Well, this is difficult now because it's COVID, but I know what I would do would talk to the students, right? Then I'd have to hire a team to watch your Facebook, your Snapchat, your Instagrams, whatever it is, because kids build up stuff, be sensitive, be aware, have these monthly orientations of sorts. But, because the superintendent said he didn't know anything, he didn't hear anything, he wasn't aware of anything. And I guess that's not his job because his job is to run the district. But in running the district, coming back to a world like this, we have to prepare to assist because being a hermit stuck at home, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on, And again, like a parent, listen to your child, listen to your student because we want everybody safe. And people are embarrassed to go to counseling or to think they have to talk to a psychiatrist. Don't be embarrassed. Maybe call those folks or give them a different title so that maybe the students and the parents can talk to somebody to get help and not resort to a mass murder.
All right. Well, again, family, I want to thank you so very much. And again, this was the message today. Thank Ms. Michelle Broughton for her contributions. Of course, this is the Talk B. Jones and her beat worldwide coming out of Detroit. And again, I'm Billy E. Jones, and we're just here reflecting today. You're sitting on your couch, we're sitting on a table, and we're just having a conversation about the latest of what has happened. Family, this is Talk B. Jones, and remember, every Wednesday we're on the air from 10 to 11, and we have a repeat broadcast on Sunday nights from 8 to 9. Let them know, Michelle Broughton, how we're saying goodbye.
Family, stay safe. Stay safe, and hope to see you next week. I'm Michelle Broughton on the Billy Jones Talk Beat Show.
Bye now.
Bye now.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And I